Academy of Art University's K-Art News is next. Coming up, you'll hear firsthand why efforts to stop pedestrian deaths and injuries in San Francisco are an uphill battle.
Something positive coming out of the latest tragic death in Oakland.
If you're thinking of becoming a pet owner, we've got a report you should see first.
And a preview of the new film The Gunman and an interview with the director. All that and more coming up on K-Art News next.
Good evening and thank you for joining us at Academy of Art University's K-Art News. I'm Ricardo Ayar.
And I'm Terrell Butler. Here's what we're working on. San Franciscans are outraged from the lack of parking available on the streets. Although many are happy with the big construction boom, there's a downside to all that building. Crews are taking up the already scarce parking in the city. From Pacific Heights to Hayes Valley, Potrero Hill to the Castro strips of curbs are being legally blocked off as tollway zones by construction crews, both private and public. According to Public Works Department, there are currently 1,200 active construction parking permits and nearly 550 evacuation permits issued, an inconvenience that could last weeks or even months.
California has unveiled a $1 billion aid package in response to another dry winter. Governor Jerry Brown and legislative leaders announced the package last Thursday. The bill will push money to the people and cities hit hardest by the drought, as well as preparing for the adverse effects of the state's extreme weather pattern. Flooding is a major concern. $660 million will go toward flood protection. Brown said the state must prepare for what happens if intensely dry conditions are followed by heavy rains. After 2 months in a deep coma, Oakland resident Greg Laurie is finally awake. In early January, Laurie was on his way to West Oakland Clinic when his bicycle was struck by a pickup driver. He laid unconscious in the street while people proceeded to steal his wallet and the wallet of his 80-year-old driver. While Laurie's condition continues to improve, the theft case is still open and no one has been arrested. The truck driver, who remained at the scene, was not arrested.
Pedestrians are also getting hurt on San Francisco city streets more often than people would like. But there is a plan in the works to address that problem. K-Art News' Matt Seska has more.
Every year in San Francisco, approximately 30 people are killed and over 200 more are seriously injured while traveling along through the city streets.
I jaywalk every day, especially because I live exactly in the middle of the street. So there's a grocery store right across my apartment. So I think it's a waste of time to walk all the way to the end of the street to use the ride crossing.
I jaywalk because it gets me places faster.
To help make city streets safer for pedestrians and bicyclists, in 2014, San Francisco implemented the Vision Zero policy. The Vision Zero policy in San Francisco is committed to building better and safer streets, educating the public on traffic safety, enforcing traffic laws, and prioritizing resources to implement effective initiatives that save lives.
I don't think the Vision Zero thing is working. I could walk across the street, nothing will happen. To me, jaywalking is normal. That's what you do in a metropolis.
I think it's good that they're trying to prevent jaywalking because it's not safe to cross in the middle of the street, especially when you're distracted with your phone and there's cars coming towards you.
I don't even know what Vision Zero is.
In San Francisco, I'm Matt Seska for Academy of Arts, K-Art News.
To find out more information on Vision Zero, visit walksf.org. Uber background checks is still a controversial issue. The process of getting the driver's fingerprints is similar to those of taxi drivers, limo, and bus drivers. Another issue that would arise that Uber would also require random drug tests and alcohol tests. Despite the controversy, Uber said its background checks are rigorous and their other safety procedures are innovative and industry-leading.
3 Bay Area police shootings that happened in an 8-hour span this past Sunday is raising concerns on Saturday. Vallejo police shot and killed an unarmed, agitated man with a gun and his waistband and holding a knife in the parking lot of a Target store. Police fired after the man refused to drop the knife. The second shooting occurred later that night in Richmond during a routine traffic stop when an officer shot and injured a man who ran away on foot during a brief shootout. The third shooting occurred hours later in Santa Clara at a 7-Eleven parking lot. Police intercepted a robbery suspect walking out of the store with a loaded gun and cash. Officers opened fire as the man exited the building and failed to drop his weapon. A group of protesters have chained themselves together outside of the Mission Police Station in San Francisco. This morning marks the anniversary of the police shooting of Alex Nieto in Bernal Heights a year ago. The protesters are protesting the lack of indictments against the 4 officers who shot Alejandro Nieto a year ago on March 21, 2014. The protesters chained themselves across the gate to the parking lot and held a mock trial against the 4 officers involved in the shooting. A group of Bay Area artists have banded together to put on a concert for justice next month in Oakland. Marin High School students Matt Geffen and Timmy Stabler were inspired to launch the concert for justice next month in reaction to the death of Eric Garner in New York, who was choked to death while being apprehended by police. The concert will feature several artists on the rise, such as Dizzy Wright, Casey Veggies, and Pell. 100% of the proceeds will be donated to Eric Garner's family.
Oakland's most recent homicide has citizens banding together in a call for peace on the streets. I was on the scene where local comedians helped raise money for the family of Davon Ellis. The city of Oakland has already racked up 17 homicides since the start of 2015. While statistically that number is down from last year, residents say that the violent crime is still a major problem.
Violence in Oakland affects anybody that lives in the East Bay. It affects anybody that does business or comes into Oakland to do any kind of thing.
The city of Oakland was ranked number 3 on the Forbes top 10 list of most dangerous cities in the United States. The high percentage of violent crimes in this area is primarily due to the fact that Oakland is a major hub for international drug cartels.
You know, we have youth out here thinking that living by the gun and dying by the gun is more manly than living and raising a family and taking care of yours and making your community stronger.
The drugs that you bring in your system suppress your feelings. The families that suffer from crackhead addiction.
This comedy show is produced by the local comedians who are raising money for the family of Oakland's most recent homicide victim.
The purpose of this event is to raise awareness and money for Davon Ellis, who was brutally murdered. A good kid. The family lost a kid, but I like to say in the community that we lost the kids. Laughter and smiles start the healing process. So I reached out to the father. The father's a close friend of mine. And I didn't know what to say to him when I saw it being posted on social media that his son had died. My thing was like, what do I say to him? What do I, because I never lost a child, but I cried when I got the news. So I just hit him up and asked him, can I do something to start the healing?
A moment of silence.
In Oakland, I'm Terrell Butler for Academy of Art University's K-Art News. Homicide numbers in Oakland are down, but the number of violent assault crimes has risen in 2015.
San Francisco hosts the first dog conference, but no dogs. That might be a surprise, but the reasoning behind it is clear. Dogs aren't the ones investing in pet products. Humans are. The sold-out conference attracted dog enthusiasts and members of the tech community, including Megan Casey, founder and CEO of PAC, who discussed the rise in tech startups that provide products and services for dogs. The demand for pet products have increased as more people consider pets part of the family. Technology isn't the only part of our lives dogs are impacting. As it turns out, owning one is starting to take a bigger toll on our wallets than we once thought. I was able to find out more from Burlingame. These guys are cute, entertaining, and probably the most loyal members of your family. But keeping them that way is starting to put a bigger dent in pet owners' wallets due to an increase in the cost of pet ownership.
But it's worth it. Well, I think during a month we probably spend about $100 on dog food for both of them.
According to the ASPCA, annual recurring medical expenses for a medium-sized dog start at $1,500, a number that doesn't include all natural pet foods, toys, or unexpected emergency vet visits.
When I first got Grizz from the breeder, he came to us with diarrhea, so I took him to the vet. And I think his diarrhea lasted for about 3 months. After blood tests and several other exams and $1,200 down the line, they still didn't know what was wrong with him. They could only speculate that it was something in his intestine.
So it turns out having one of these guys in your family is pretty expensive, but it's worth the perks if you ask many dog owners. Plus, I spoke to a vet tech out of Burlingame who says it's possible to keep vet costs down. Good boy. Good check.
They definitely do ingest weird things. Other things that dogs eat, things like wash rags, and one was a weird one, was a bathing suit.
Besides watching what your dog eats, Lynette emphasizes that the main factor in keeping health costs down for your companions is investing in preventive care.
I would highly, highly recommend that everyone vaccinate their animals. That's probably one of the most important things to keep them protected against, the things that we can vaccinate against.
In Burlingame, Ricardo Ayar for Academy of Art University's K-Art News. So many people have pets in America that many employers are now starting to offer pet health benefits as part of their employee health plans.
Matt Seska joins us now with the latest on AAU News.
Hi everyone, Academy of Art wants you to join in on online chats to get all of your questions answered by your department directors. Chats have already started, but there is still time to get in on the action as these chats will be going until the middle of May. So hurry up and RSVP for the next chat you're interested in. On March 31st at 79 New Montgomery, starting at 7 p.m., Matt Weldon will be teaching how August designs and prototypes features for iOS and Android. For those of you who cannot make it to the presentation, there will also be a live stream for this event. Campus Life, Housing, and the Indian Student Association want you to help them celebrate the ancient Hindu festival, Holi. Come play with the colored powder and bring in the beginning of spring. The event takes place March 28th from 1 to 3 p.m. at 601 Brandon Street. The regular AAU bus schedule is advised for transportation. Congratulations to the School of Landscape Architecture, as they have won 7 awards at the San Francisco Flower and Garden Show. The garden designed by Nahal Sabati and Eric Arneson, called Sublimation, took home the most prestigious award by winning Best in Show. For those of you looking to get in shape, the Spring 2015 fitness schedule is now available. Classes are Monday through Friday, starting at as early as 5 p.m. and as late as 8:30 p.m. Classes take place at both the 620 Sutter Dance Studio and the Commodore, located at 825 Sutter. And lastly, let's check out School of Photography's Teresa Juarez with her picture of the week. And that's it for AAU News. Tune in for more next week.
Thanks, Matt. Spring has arrived, and you know what that means. March Madness. Kizzle joins us with her opinion on the big event.
March is here, and it is bringing the madness with it. The tourney starts with 64, but there can only be one winner of the NCAA Women's Division I Basketball Championship. We have a lot of talent all throughout the country, but it just seems that powerhouses keep taking over. With UConn's Gina Auriemma redefining the meaning of building an empire in women's college basketball, a lot of people are asking the question, who can beat UConn? My Final Four picks consist of 4 teams that have dominated the court this year, and I have to say that the Maryland Terps are at the top of my list with one of my favorite players in women's college basketball right now, Lexi Brown, who won the Big Ten's Most Outstanding Player Award. Lexi averages about 14 points a game and has an outstanding eye for dishing the ball where it needs to be, with Brianna Jones on the inside and senior 2 guard Lauren Mincy dominating from outside of the arc. There's no reason why this young dynamic team shouldn't be able to upset the UConn Huskies in the 6th round.
Thanks, Kayla. 4-time Olympic gold medalist Missy Franklin is leaving college to go pro. Franklin, who was only 20 years old, didn't go out quietly. Last weekend, she won 3 individual events and helped her California team win the NCAA championship. Franklin made it clear that she wants to keep swimming for a long, long time and share her passion with the world. Now, Herman Pratt IV joins us with the latest on AAU sports.
Thanks, Terrell. The women's team match between the number 6 Hawaii Pacific and number 12 this past Saturday. Although the Sharks came away with a very close 5-4 win in the Urban Knights' final match of their Hawaii road trip, freshman Dorota Markowski and junior Michelle Zale won their doubles match, beating Vivian Hansen and Julia Sauer, as senior Nina and Annika proved to 4-0 the year at number doubles with an 8-1 win over HBU's Christy and Nicole. The Urban Knights return home at 2 p.m. Friday to face number 15 UC San Diego at the San Francisco Tennis Club. RU softball up against the number 5 team in the country, Dixie State, but sustained a pair of losses to the Red Storm. The Red Storm came out the gate with the early lead, a 12-0 5-inning game one win. In Game 2, the Red Storm led after the first inning 1-0 after the inning, then third heading into the 4th. Dixie then added 3 extra runs in the 4th and 2 more in the 5th to have yet another run rule again and an 8-0 win. Softball will have one more Pac-West Conference game before the Tournament of Champions next week. The Urban Knights track and field game came away with 7 NCAA national titles, All-American trophies in the Final Four Indoors Nationals. Jordan Edwards earned an individual championship in the 400-meter dash, then went to the top 3 in both the 200-meter and with his teammates in the 4x4 meters. Jordan Edwards talks about his moments.
Since last year didn't go so well for me indoors, I had a lot of drive and hunger to make sure I won this year. And still coming in at number 1, you have a lot more pressure than anyone else who's there. And all I wanted to do was redeem myself from last year, so I had to use my confidence. Coming in number 1, I got to finish out number 1, but it was really hard to maintain my focus and try not to doubt myself. You come this far, why would you doubt yourself now? And I had to keep myself from doing that. But let's go a little bit higher. These past 2 were about redemption. Had to redeem myself for not doing good in indoor, so I wanted outdoor. Had to come back indoor and be like, I'm not gonna let what happened indoor last year happen. Did that, so now let's let's break some records or drop some history times, So that's what I'm gonna shoot for this outdoor season, along with winning, of course.
RU track will be in San Diego next weekend for the San Diego Aztecs Invitational on Saturday, March 28th. That's all for sports today. Check the RU Athletics website for updates. Back to you.
Thanks, Herman, for that sports report. Now, let's join Quinlan Wright, who's here to interview an extraordinary student here at AAU who also happens to be a world-class athlete.
Good afternoon. I'm here with Kiana Moody, track star here at the Academy of Art University. She is also majoring in multimedia communications, and I am here today just to ask her a couple of questions. So, Kiki, you are originally from Nebraska, and it's kind of a long ways from home, but it's not as much. Why did you choose to come all the way to San Francisco, California, to this school?
Well, my high school coach knew Coach DeMont here, the assistant coach here, and that's how we got in contact. So I really wanted to get out of the cold and go as far away from Nebraska that I could. So that's why I decided to come here.
That's exactly one of the reasons why I came to the school, just had to get away. And I know I mentioned you're in multimedia communications. What exactly are you trying to focus on? Because there's so many different roles. There's anchors, reporters, there's just so many. What do you want to focus?
I'm not really positive on what I want to do, but I know I want to do something with sports broadcasting. So I know, because I'm an athlete, I want to lean towards something that has to do with sports after I graduate. So it's going to be something along the lines of that.
Okay. And I've also had the chance to see you run and compete. And trust me guys, she's amazing. You want to run against this girl and good luck because she is great. And there used to be an athlete at the school named by Vashti, her name was Vashti Thomas, and she is now a world-class athlete and she runs for Nike. And basically you are almost the next Vashti Thomas. But when you first got here, you weren't quite as good as you are now. What is your story behind that?
Well, when I first got here, I didn't really have a huge background of training. So when I came here, I was like in shock of all the training that we had in weightlifting and training 6 days a week. And I was like, overwhelmed, you know. And my coach was talking about redshirting me, and I was like, I can't do redshirt. I'm here to run. I'm going to run. I'm going to be a factor on this team. So every day I would put in work on the track and in the weight room and try to eat good, you know. And ever since then, I've just been working my way up.
That's great. What a good, awesome attitude to have. I wish more people were like that. I have a tricky question. If you could describe track and field in one word, what would it be?
Death.
You want to explain why it's like death?
Because, I wouldn't say every day is death, but for an example, today we had a workout that would make me want to quit track. Not that I would, but it's like one of those workouts that's like, why did I decide to do this? I should have did something like tennis or volleyball, you know, something easy.
Oh, well, that's all we have today. We have Kiana Moody. If you want to find out more about the track and any schedule or meets, visit www.ruathletics.com. Back to you.
Thanks, Quinlan and Kiana. Enosh Williams is here with the K-Art Entertainment Report.
Rihanna has dominated the music industry for almost a decade as one of the leading ladies in popular music. Now she plans to dominate the big screen in the new animated film, Home. The film also stars the legendary Steve Martin and Jim Parsons, who plays a sweet alien named O. O, who just so happens to be on the run. O and Tip, played by Rihanna, journey together as they discover a friendship and the meaning of home.
What is your name?
My friends call me Tip.
I am O.
Oh?
I have been given this name by my many, many friends. Good morning. Hi, guys. Hello.
They're uncatchable.
Arrest that move!
They're unpredictable.
What is happening to my body?
It's called dancing.
Oh, no! My hands are in the air like I just do not care.
And their journey around the world.
My turn for driving. Keys, please.
Are you trying to drive me crazy?
DreamWorks Home.
Home hits theaters this Friday and you don't want to miss it. And while things are going great for superstar Rihanna, her buddy Kanye is having quite the opposite moment. Kanye is at the forefront of controversy yet again. This summer, music lovers from all over the world will come together in Somerset, England to celebrate music of all genres on the Glastonbury stage. With much joy surrounding the annual event, one fan isn't so joyous about Kanye taking the stage. Neil Lonsdale, a fan who's never actually attended a Glastonbury event, started a petition to ban the superstar from performing altogether. The fan shared his opinion via social media, stating Kanye is egotistical and a disgrace. He then asked other fans to sign the petition, reaching 90,000 signatures later that day. It all started as a joke, said Neil, and doesn't feel it will make much of a difference, but he is happy to know some people share his feelings. Neither Glastonbury reps nor Kanye have released a statement regarding the situation. And for those of you who don't know, stars like Stevie Wonder, U2, and the one and only Beyoncé have all graced the Glastonbury stage, as it can truly be a paramount in one's career. I guess we'll have to wait and see how this one turns out. Kanye is still scheduled to headline Glastonbury come early summer. Kevin Hart returns to the big screen, and what is sure to be one of the year's biggest comedies, co-starring Will Ferrell. After being sentenced to prison because of fraud, millionaire San Quentin turns to Darnell Lewis, played by Hart, for some, let's just say, survival tips for life behind bars.
Sing it! Hey, dirty! Baby, I got your money, don't you worry.
I forgot the gin and juice. Should I run back inside?
Teach me how to survive in prison.
You're in the wrong part of the yard, white boy. You lost this, eh?
Are there any French gangs? Je m'appelle James. Can I join their gang?
Get hard. Rated R.
Get Hard also hits theaters this Friday, so grab a friend and make it a movie moment.
Thanks, Enosh. The director of Taken, District 13, and From Paris with Love stopped by San Francisco on his press tour for his new movie, The Gunman. KR reporter Whitley Sandretto has more on this story.
It never happened. That's the way you want to play it? With me? You did your part, I did mine. We all found a way to justify it.
Keep your eyes open, my friend. It's the ones who aren't after you that do you in the end.
The king of action thrillers, director Pierre Morel, has done it again. Get ready for action, love, and betrayal in his new movie, The Gunman. So for starters, your movie has a terrific cast. How did you go about getting all of them involved?
Sean Penn was the first one to be involved in. I don't know, I guess he wanted to try action. So we had a meeting together, we had a long phone call. We got on the same page on what we wanted to do with the movie. And then we had the conversation about, okay, who do you see around you? I mean, who are the, I wouldn't even say supporting cast, because they're much more than supporting cast, but like the ensemble cast. Mm-hmm. And we came up with the same names, literally, like, oh, what about Javier Bardem? Same idea. How about Ray Winstone? Oh, same idea. So we had the same, really literally the same ideas on who we wanted, and just, give them phone calls.
Don't you have to go to work today?
I gotta grab some stuff and get out to the site.
Sean Penn plays a former special ops agent who was chosen to carry out a high-profile assassination.
You are the designated trigger, Jim.
Little did he know, years later, he would become the target and is left fighting to protect his life. How did you decide that you wanted Sean Penn to be your leading actor, the gunman?
Because he's got what he needs. I mean, if you look at him. No, I think it's a movie where it's not just an action movie. There's more to that. There's a story which is more complex, and it requires characters that are also not like cookie cutter, but more layered and complex characters. And it requires actors who can play those nuances and those struggle that the characters have. And it was almost an obvious choice.
An incredible cast, tons of action, and even a little bit of romance are just a few reasons why The Gunman is a must-see movie. Can you describe your new movie, The Gunman, in just 3 words?
No. I don't know. 3 words, wow, that's a tough one. Action, love, and redemption are the 3 themes, I think.
Let the real hunt begin!
You can watch The Gunman in theaters now. In San Francisco, I'm Whitley Sandretto reporting for KART News.
And we got nothing left to talk about.
That's it for this edition of Academy of Art University's KART News. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. I'm Ricardo Ayar.
And I'm Terrell Butler. Have a great evening and enjoy your weekend. See you back here next week.